Hey guys, I'm so sorry. I've been absent for a while and I haven't had time to make another video. Started new jobs. It's just kind of been thrown at me. So I'm still kind of getting things set here. But I did want to get back to you guys. I will give a shout out. Thank you so much for hitting 200 subscribers. I know it doesn't sound like much in the grand scheme of things, but you know what? I honestly did not expect this channel to reach this many. When I started out and I had 2 subscribers, I thought people, actually had somewhat of an interest. I had views, but I didn't have very many subscribers. So, having all this extra fan base kind of makes me want to do this more. So, you know what? I thank you guys a lot. Even if you just watch a couple of my videos, please subscribe. It does let me know that you have interest. And the videos that you like, I know you're not going to like all of them. That's fine. The videos that you do like, please leave a like, thumbs up kind of thing, Let me know it was cool. And definitely leave comments. This really helps me interact with my fan base and communicate ways I can improve, things you want me to review, like in a tweaking app I'll show you here in a minute. Maybe some things that you'd like me to add. So, I mean, by all means, throw me some input. Let me know you like what I'm doing, and it really does help me out. So, with that, let's get into what this video is about, and that is tweaks for Windows 10. Now, with my new job, I actually repair laptops and whatnot, and when I am working on them, I'll do these tweaks before I give the computer back to the customer. So I use these for everybody. So they do work, and I definitely use them on mine. The specific values for some of these, you may want to try different values, but the ideas behind them should work for you also. So we're going to start out with some relatively simple ones that have been hashed and rehashed a million times, and that is under System. So right click on my PC and go to Properties. That'll bring you here. Advanced System Settings. Under Performance, which is the Advanced tab, hit Settings. Again, the Advanced tab. Under Virtual Memory, hit Change. Now here it usually says Automatically Manage. Now I happen to have 2 drives in here. My system drive is actually 2 128 gig M.2 SSDs in RAID 0, and this is actually faster than my Samsung 850 EVO SSD, which is my 1 terabyte data drive. So with my system, I'm actually going to offload my page file over to the second drive. It kind of frees up read and write speeds. I set it to 10 gig. That's probably far more than I really need, but it's a 1 terabyte drive, and 10 gig is nothing. I know I have 32 gigs of RAM. It will eventually be 64. That'll max it out. I just don't have the time for that yet. But so basically, just go to your second drive, not your system drive. If you only have one, it's kind of where it goes, I guess. But put one on your non-system drive, set both values to the same, and hit set. Yeah, that easy. Good to go. Let's back out of this. I don't mess with visual effects, at least on my computer it doesn't matter. I have the GTX 1070 with 8 gigs of RAM, so visual issues, not even a problem. Next we go to Startup and Recovery, go to Settings, write an event to the system log. Well, you can disable that, leave Automatically Restart on, and turn write debugging information from Complete Memory Dump to None. You'll never look at that, believe me. Heck, I've never looked at one in my life. It's just not helpful. So, that's all of that. Next tab over under System Protection. Go to the drive that you have your system on. It should be turned on. Go to Configure. Now this would normally be set at either like 5 or 10%. I think mine was set at 10%. That's 23 gigs of space. I don't need that. Slide it all the way to 1%, as far left as it'll go, and hit apply. You can optionally disable it, which sometimes I will. I haven't done it yet, I guess it really doesn't matter to me. But if you want to stay safe, leave it turned on. Just set it down to 1% so it doesn't take up all your space. Clean it up, you can hit delete. That'll kill it all. Okay, yes, I got that. And I'll just turn mine off, no big deal. But if you leave it on and you delete, come back over here to where it says create and at least create one restore point. If something goes south, you'll be glad that you did. Under remote for the next tab, allow remote assistance, just uncheck this. Who needs that to be enabled anyway? You could use TeamViewer for this. It's a much better app, it works better, and this just closes one more backdoor that for privacy reasons you really don't need to have open. So, that's out of the way. Let's get into something a little bit more. How about all those apps that you see in the start menu? Sway and 3D Builder and all that crap. Well, I don't have any of it installed anymore, but here's a quick way to do it. Open and elevate. Excuse me. Open an elevated prompt here. So not command prompt, but PowerShell prompt, which I believe is... Oh, sorry, there it is. PowerShell, and then run as admin. And what you'll do is you'll take all of these commands, one at a time, and plug them into PowerShell. And this removes all of those applications. Now, it wouldn't do me any good to put them in because obviously I have them uninstalled already. But things like Bing Weather, Get Started, Skype, I just downloaded the real Skype app. You know, the one off the website, current, updated. Windows Maps? Just go to googlemaps.com, right? Yeah. Windows Phone? Are you that lazy to use your laptop as a phone? Okay then. Zune? Wasn't that like killed off like 8 or 9 years ago or more? Yeah, that can go. And 3D Builder, just get like Blender or something. They would work so much better than this thing. Although I guess it is slightly noob friendly, but if you're really getting serious about doing 3D modeling, don't use this. Just figure out how to use Blender and you'll be good to go. Next we have optimization batch file, which I wrote, and this one is kind of nice. If you have an SSD in your laptop, congratulations, you have some of the fastest storage available next to NVMe's, but yes, they are also solid state drives. Don't leave a comment about that, I know. Anyway, this is to defrag, not in the typical sense, your SSD. So what this will do, specifically the L command here, which invokes a retrim. Now trimming is what you would do to an SSD. You can't do it to a regular rotary hard drive. A rotary hard drive, you have to wait for the spindle to spin around to get to a certain spot. The read head also has to be in a specific location, and when the two meet, it takes a read. Now, if you have a file that's scattered over, say, 100 locations, that's a whole bunch of skipping around that the read head and the spindle have to do to reach all of those spots to get the complete piece of information that it needed. A defrag on a typical hard drive would put all of that stuff into one spot on the drive, and it would simply read from here to here and be done. Well, it's not quite that simple, but it is much faster than getting something that's fragmented. With an SSD, that's not necessary. There's no seek times, there's no removable parts. I take that back. Technically, there are seek times, but it's so minuscule that you'll never notice it. So with an SSD, you do not defrag because each cell has limited write capabilities. You can only write to it so many times before it's considered dead. Now the storage controller on the SSD will automatically take care of that and place files on the flash storage where it's most, where it's useful. So it will take care of the fragmentation and the wear leveling and everything all on its own. you don't defrag that. You simply do a retrim, which is what this does. So defrag in this case the C drive, L for retrim, U for printing the progress on the screen, 0 to 100%, and V is for verbose output. I'll show you what this looks like really quick. Have to open it elevated as administrator. I have a 1 terabyte for my data drive and a 256 gig for my C drive. And you can tell it's done retrim. That's all it is. And that's that. You could run that as often as you want. You can't hurt anything with it. But running it like every day isn't going to help. Maybe every couple weeks. Every month? You can run it every week if you do a lot of work and small data transfers and other things. But this is definitely a safe one. So let's move on to my app Windows Tweaker Compact, which I updated a while back, and I actually still need to update it. This will allow you to do a few things. Config64 is part of the sysinternal suite. You can get it from Microsoft, and this allows you to place files in a contiguous block, either on an SSD or a rotary drive. Again, for an SSD, not helpful. Just the cleanup and the clear browser caches will be useful for you, but optimizing these really isn't going to help you any. If you have a rotary drive, yes, they'll help. So what this will do is it'll take the master file table, the USN journal, and if you want to see the others, these are the list of the other things that it will move. These are the other metadata files. Now I could optimize everything, which will do all the stuff from every category. And that's it. Now, of course, I cleaned probably 20 minutes ago when I made my first attempt at this video and screwed it up. It happens. Yeah, so that's that. Let's kill that. And literally, out of all this, I'll show you what I did. Is just some subcalls and some other things, and all the work is down here. Here you see all the stuff for processing the stuff with config, and then browser cache clearing and some other stuff that I need to add into it. But yeah, so I'll leave a link to this in the description below. You can download it from my website, steelroms.com, and let me know what you think, or if there's something you'd like me to add. So let's move on. I don't really have anything else right here except for my command prompt, which opens with administrator access automatically, and I will show you what's coming next. So with this, I have a couple more tweaks for you. So chimney offload state, the idea is that it takes the processing power of computing networking tasks from the CPU and offloads that onto the processor on your network card. Not all network cards have one that is capable of this, but if you do, it'll help free up the CPU to do other things. You might as well share the load, rather than have your friend sit on the side and do nothing. That's not helpful. So give them some work to do. So how we're going to do that is net sh int tcp set global chimney enabled. And okay, now obviously if you want to disable it, which really there's no reason to do that, then just replace where it says enabled, just put disabled and hit OK, or hit enter, and you're good to go. So that's all there is for that one. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The next one we're going to use is called Windows Scaling Heuristics. And it's kind of a gray fuzzy area, but basically Windows limits the connection to the internet and some other network-based connections and things like that. Without going a whole lot into detail here, you can safely disable this. So first I'll show you what it looks like so you can check. So again, net sh TCP show heuristics. What did I type wrong? netsh TCP show. Oh, I'm sorry. netsh, my bad. Just bear with me here. Interface TCP show. There we go. I have a script at work that does this all automatically, so I haven't actually had to type it in by hand for a while now. But yes, it's actually netsh interface TCP show heuristics. And right up here, Windows scaling heuristics, I've already got it disabled. So if yours shows enabled, what you want to do is netsh interface TCP set heuristics disabled. And I missed a letter there, my bad. And boom, and that'll disable it. All you have to do is, you shouldn't have to reboot, but I would suggest doing a restart and then trying again. Let it load everything fresh and see what it does for you. If it's made things worse, you can always go back here, and where it says disabled, just type in enabled instead, hit OK, reboot, and you're back to the way it used to be. I would suggest leaving it disabled. I have not run into any issues on any computer yet, so, you know, fingers crossed, all that kind of stuff. But here's another one. This is flushing the DNS cache, which stores a list of websites and IP addresses. You can pretty much clear this out and start fresh. So rather than digging through a whole pile of stuff to find the ones that you need with obsolete stuff, let's clear it and start fresh. So with this is super simple, ipconfig /flush DNS. And that's as fast as it is. That's all it takes. Yours shouldn't take really any longer than that. But yeah. Now there is one, and I'm not going to go over it in this video because I'm still debating how I want to approach it, and I may make another video that includes this tweak, but it is the core parking and unparking setup. Now the commands to do that from the command line are a little bit tricky and you can get lost in it, so it's better to have a batch file if you have to do it that way. But there are programs that will do this for you. So I'll show you down here. Let's bring this into view. Okay. So currently I have everything enabled. If I were to set, say, 20%, core parking index was set, you'll notice that first two are enabled, and then from there on, they're parked. Now, the other way to check this, Task Manager, Performance, Resource Monitor, and over here, under CPU, you'll see right here it says parked for all of these. Basically, unparking allows them all to run at full capacity, and there's some debate on whether or not that actually helps with, say, gaming. I personally have not found an issue with that. In fact, none of my games are able to use up so much CPU power that I need to do any kind of core unparking. I could leave it set, but I'm going to put enable everything, so they're all enabled, nothing's parked, they all run at 100%. You know what? I've never had any issues. It doesn't overheat, nothing. So another video, I'll go over this a little bit more, but for now, let's just say you can unpark your cores if you really want. If you're not worried about literally squeezing out every last drop of performance that you can, just leave it alone. It isn't going to hurt anything. It will pretty much manage it on its own. So, with that, that is all I've got. Obviously, thank you for watching. If I helped you in any way, leave a like, definitely subscribe. I'm so thankful for you guys for hitting up those 200 subscribers. I know it doesn't sound like much, but I really do appreciate that. So, with that, like, share, subscribe. Now, see, I'm repeating myself already. I need to do these videos more often. Tell you what, have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next video.